And it's time to have a look at Wispa Gold today on Walking the Candy Aisle. Hey guys, thank you for joining me today for another review of, this time, Wispa Gold. I am Jeff, and this is Walking the Candy Aisle. Candy reviews all the time. Good times here. And today I'm expecting some more good times with Wispa Gold. I have already reviewed the Wispa bar, but this is a secondary SKU of Cadbury's aerated milk chocolate bar, available in the UK and I think some other countries, maybe in Australia? Question mark? Perhaps. Not available in Canada where I live, but you know, that's okay. I got this as an import from someone who was recently in the UK. I'm just feeling it. It feels like it might have been a little like, I don't know, it doesn't. It feels like it might be a little weird. Who knows if it got messed up in transit. Let's see. This is the Wispa you love with a cheeky caramel layer. That's right. It's got caramel. So Wispa Gold is more or less Cadbury's. This is my take on it, at least. Wispa is more or less Cadbury's take on the Aero bar, right? Like it's like a bubbly chocolate. Now I know nowadays the Cadbury Dairy Milk line actually has a bubbly chocolate SKU, which is one of the reasons why in the early 90s the Wispa, which is a classic chocolate bar in the UK, was canceled. But after a lot of sort of fan support, including an online petition, the Wispa was eventually brought back in a limited capacity and ultimately in a larger version, more like, you know, full time. But it's a chocolate bar that's all about the texture, right? Like an Aero bar is about the bubbles inside it, or I guess the Cadbury, you know, Dairy Milk bubbly bar is about the bubbles and that different texture of the great Cadbury chocolate that you know and love. The Wispa also had that same thing, only the bubbles were a little bit smaller. For my money, though, while Wispa's good because it has, you know, it has great Cadbury chocolate in it and it's a nice smooth taste, I didn't find that the texture was that. It didn't really impress me that much. I feel like a little bit larger bubbles would have made all the difference, which is kind of why I still side with the Aero bar as a better overall chocolate bar than the Wispa. And I would say if you like the Cadbury chocolate, which I think is a little bit better than Nestle's, that you would probably should go, and you're interested in a different sort of eating texture, go for the Cadbury Flake bar, which is a folded chocolate technique. It's great. But in comes the Wispa Gold. So the gold, the caramel version of the Wispa came out in 1995 originally, and you know, it was sort of a limited edition. They've had a lot of different SKUs of Wispa over the years, but this one has stuck around, especially since I think 2011. It's been full-time permanent. So I'm happy to get my hands on it. Oh yeah, I was saying it felt weird. Look at that. Looks like the caramel leaked out. Man, that got a little mucked up. Okay, how about we do this? Let's put the wrapper down. Yeah, let's put the whole thing down. Okay, here we go. The Wispa Gold. Okay, oh my god. Let's just break it apart. So there it is, the Wispa Gold. Obviously it's, you know, completely leaking. What is this? Man, oh man. Okay, there we are getting a bit of a view of it on the inside now. So you have the chocolate. It's just a layer of caramel, right? Yeah, it is just a layer. So there's the chocolate in its aerated form. As you can see, if you can see, there are bubbles in there, but they're, you know, it's like they're tight. They're real small. It's not like an Aero bar at all, or and I think like a caramel, like a Dairy Milk bubbly. This is a really thick, heavy layer of caramel. You're surprised at how much caramel this is. Or maybe it's just because it's leaking all over the place. Let's give it a try. Well, that's quite nice. You know what I always say, guys? Caramel and chocolate, that's all you need for a 5 out of 5 fantastic chocolate experience. The nice thing about the kind of bubble patterning here is that it does give the bar a nice crumble. That's nice. I don't feel like I'm getting as much texture of the bubbles in my mouth. I guess that's what I get out of an Aero bar that I don't get out of a Wispa bar. Adding the caramel layer is great, though. So maybe what I should be comparing this to is one of my favorite bars that I've had over the last year, the Aero Caramel, which is a new SKU here in Canada of the Aero bar, which I still think, while the chocolate is not as great in the Nestle bar overall as the Dairy Milk chocolate is, the bubble texture experience is really something to be proud of for Nestle. And the Aero Caramel, unlike the Wispa Gold, didn't just have a layer of caramel on it, it actually infused it with the caramel, which I think was a really smart move. Guys, that said though, this is delicious. I mean, like, really good. Wow, that's pretty messy considering all of the dripped out caramel. But whoa, what a good bar. I think maybe it may be a little heavy on the caramel, or maybe that's just because it's all in one layer. Like that's not uncommon. I can't necessarily fault them for putting the caramel in a single layer. Who knows if when they, when they launched the Wispa Gold in 1995, if they even had infusing technology for caramel. I'm not sure that they did back then, but they certainly do now. And this could use a little something else. I mean, like I said, you can't totally blame them. There's 99% of caramel chocolate bars have a layer of caramel. That's a much easier way to manufacture it. I get it. But I can't not compare this to the most obvious competitor. I guess it's not really necessarily a competition because it's in different markets. You probably can't buy the Aero Caramel same places you can buy the Wispa Gold. That said, Aero Caramel is like one of the best bars I've had in I don't know how long. It's amazing. This is pretty darn good, but it's mostly good because it's Cadbury milk chocolate with caramel. The caramel is great. As usual, Cadbury knows what they're doing, just like with the caramel bar. Really fantastic execution on that one. This is that great kind of gooey caramel that I like best. And I think this is a really good bar. But as I've been discussing, there are areas where I see like it could be a better bar. And maybe that's why I'm a little discouraged by it. So Cadbury's Wispa Gold is going to get a strong 4 out of 5 from me. But there are a couple of ways where I think that this could have been a 5 out of 5. And I think it's too bad that there isn't, I don't know, that this isn't executed as well as it could be. That's all. Maybe that's all. And maybe that's only in comparison to what else I know is out there on the market. But that's my take on it, guys. You guys let me know what you think about Wispa and the Wispa Gold in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.